Hello everyone, and welcome to the 6.2 patch notes for World of Warships Blitz. Honestly, these pictures are getting bigger every time. I'm actually struggling to fit them on one screen by now. But it looks like something gun related might be on the offering. Anyway, what are we going to go? What are we going to get? We are getting a new map called Okinawa. So a Japanese themed map featuring strategically placed islands. Well, that's good. And that it is apparently. I'm not sure what the orientation is, but there's a big old island in the northwestern corner, and then a couple of smaller islands in the middle. Looks reasonably balanced from observing it from the top in terms of symmetry, but we'll see how it turns out. This one, this is going to be fun. New gun sounds. That is something I actually wanted to do a while back. That I was thinking, I had looked at some historical gun sounds. The problem is that the historical recordings are mostly so bad in terms of audio that you can't really get an awful lot except for some of the later stage recordings. And finding a sound like for a torpedo detonation was completely out of the question. But that excites me to no end because having a 100mm dual purpose gun sounding the exact same as an 18-inch battleship gun has always been really annoying me about this thing. So amazing. I'm very much excited to see that happening. What else? Training room enhancements. Okay, well, we'll see. It looks like optical, so fresh design. All right, we'll take it. And this is interesting. More interesting stuff. We have a new ship characteristic, emergency repair. So this is a passive ship skill. What does it do? It receives additional healing when using repair kit. This is British super heals, most likely, introduced through the back way. So instead of, because they can't really mess around with the healing algorithm by itself, and instead of introducing a new ship skill, which would then have an overlap with the actual consumable, they're adding a passive skill, which makes really sense from the game mechanics point of view. And this passive skill is basically probably working the same way as the relevant captain skills. So this is for ships that have it, and I would bet it's going to be the British, is going to make a difference in terms of how much HP you can heal back. So more HP tanking. We'll see where that shows up. Here we go. In the Drake, the Goliath, in a new premium tier 7 battleship, and in the Druid, which is a destroyer. So Drake and Goliath, yeah, here we go. So it looks like after the British battleship line has been receiving some buffs in the last patch. In this time it's there for the British heavy cruisers. Now, I have mixed feelings about this because while it's great that the British heavy cruisers get buffed, it also means I have to play the bloody things again. And I was just about finished with the stupid battleships. All right then. British heavy cruiser line coming up next, I would say. All right, new tech line, Japanese cruisers. Well, we already have Japanese cruisers, but these are probably the light cruisers. Yes, these are the light cruisers. The Agano that actually existed, and we'll see. We'll see what they're looking like. It sounds like more scout cruisers, to be honest, from leading destroyers, and a development of it, something with 1250 mils. Okay. And some dual purpose guns, which means we're not going to get these as secondaries, most likely. But these are probably torpedo cruisers, so maybe similar to the Pan-Asian line. We'll have to see how they turn out. A large light cruiser, the British have had ideas in that regard, but we'll see how large. 1500 dual purpose 150 mils. So we're talking, it could be that we're talking poor small caliber, but pretty powerful large caliber AA, and 1550s is nothing to sneeze at. That starts at tier 8, and we're seeing that at tier 9. And at tier 10 we get 18 150s. Wow. Okay, that's new. I don't think we've seen that since Smolensk. To see something with that many guns, but I'm curious to see how that's going to work. Obviously, going to be ranged HE spammers, but there needs to be a serious downside for these things, because if the Tokachi is anything to go by, then these are going to be some really mean cruisers. So probably minimal utility, poor maneuverability, terrible turret traverse. I'm purely guessing here. I haven't even seen the things yet, and decent range 150s, but just lots of them. So we'll see how they balance that out. New premium ships. We get a Nevada class battleship. Okay, a tier 5. Well, that's something new for the mid tier, but it's going to be standard type, so 21 knots. Black Farragut. Yeah, black ships I tend to just ignore. Oh, we get the Béarn, French aircraft carrier. That thing actually existed. So that's a converted Normandy. I mean, honestly, probably converting it to a carrier was the best thing they could do to the Normandy, because that thing's absolutely dreadful. But we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. Given that it's tier 6, I might actually try that, and I'm kind of curious to see if they're going to turn that into a whole tech tree line, or if they just leave it with a single premium. We shall see. We get the Collingwood, and it is apparently something. So forward triple turrets, Nelson layout, but 6 419mm guns. Okay, interesting. We get the Black Lightning, another black ship. We get an A140. So an A140s. These were the Yamato successors, right? So the planned next thing. Another Shiki. Okay, well, we'll find out what it's going to look like with torpedoes this time, but at tier 9. So interesting, more like a buffed Musashi or something. Like if we get 6 500mm guns at tier 9, that might actually be fun. Anyway, we'll see. And we get, I have no, how do you pronounce this, right? I mean, if it's Worcester, then this should be Roster. I'm presuming it's not Rochester, but I have no idea. I'm not actually going to have to check that. You never know with these. But apparently an evolved Balti, so somewhere between Baltimore and Des Moines. And we get the FDR, a midway class aircraft carrier. Yeah, what could possibly go wrong? At least I don't really have to play that. I'm just gonna be. It might be that this is where the sort of balance with the Japanese and the Pan-Asian cruisers with improved AA comes in. You know, more AA, more light cruisers, but we also get more aircraft carriers. And we get the Druid, which have no idea what that thing is, but we'll figure out when we get it. A bunch of unique camouflages, so we can actually still take a look at them. So that's the Oklahoma. Yeah, that looks like a standard type battleship to me. And that is the Collingwood. So yes, Nelson layout. And this would be the, I don't know, Rochester, Rooster, whatever. Good that we get more American heavy cruisers, but it's tier 9 unfortunately. This is the this is the tier 9 Super Yamato or something. Interesting. And that would be the FDR, yes, large and chunky, and that's the Druid. So, oh, that's interesting. What is this? 4 guns, or are these twin turrets, or are these single turrets? If these are single turrets, completely forward mounted, or even if these are twin turrets, completely forward mounted, she's got all the gun firepower forward, which means that thing would basically be bow in. It would have no reason not to be bow in. I mean, it does seem to have torpedoes, if I see that correctly, but this might also be lifeboats. It's relatively difficult to tell. We'll see when we get it. And this thing on the drapes, that is, oh, it's a Black Republic. Okay. These are just cosmetic camos. There we go. There's the Béarn, a French aircraft carrier. New legendary commanders. We get Ali Burke with preheating, daredevil, engine overload, air defense expert, mistweaver. So a destroyer commander for sure. I wonder if there's. I mean, you could just put him on a tech tree line, I guess. That sounds good. We get a couple of epic commanders. Epic commanders are more epic than common commanders, but not as legendary commanders, basically. And he gets High Alert Plus. I can't remember what that was. Adrenaline Rush. Okay. Someone for the new premium battleship with Master Reloader Plus. So probably that thing gets rapid reload. And somebody probably for the French carrier, maybe. I don't know who that is. So legendary equipment. The Daring gets a legendary module. 3% speed and 15% acceleration. Depends which slot that's in. If that's in slot 3, that's going to be a real hard sell. If that's in slot 2, then that's probably pretty decent, because you'd basically trade I think 5% acceleration for and the engine survivability for an additional 3% speed, which it might work. The Holland gets one. Turning speed, turning acceleration, and 2% surface detection. That sounds like a slot 3 module. So you kind of get, but 2% surface detection is, so you'd be trading a lot of concealment for better maneuverability. I'm not sure that's going to be worth it. And this is something that I actually mentioned when we were talking about the Atlantico. So live server testing is actually a thing, and community contributors, that includes myself, actually occasionally tend to show up in ships that haven't even been announced yet. So if you see us and you have no idea what we're in, it could be that we're actually live testing these and then giving feedback to Wargaming, and then they can adjust these. And this practice hopefully should prevent another Atlantico situation in the future. What else? 600 ship slots, so you can fit more ships in. And something about crates, I'm not really that interested. Ship balancing, that's much more interesting. The Marceau. The Marceau is an amazing ship. So what have they done to her? Turning angle increase, dispersion minus 11%, 2.4% fire chance, and 2 additional FAA. Wow. Okay. I mean, I like the Marceau as it was, honestly, but sure. This is one of the Chinese or Pan-Asian battleships. Haven't really looked at it. I don't even know what that thing is. So it just gets a bit better in all regards. Alaska, yes, please. What did they do? 14% dispersion. Yes, that is what this ship probably needed. I haven't tried this, but I am going to have to retest the Alaska, because range increase, it's not an awful lot, but we're getting there. But basically a double precision module, that is something where we can start talking, because the biggest problem with these things is that you need to fire at range, because they're super cruisers. Same with the Puerto Rico. Their armor is terrible, but you didn't really have the precision to actually reliably hit weak spots, and you didn't have the firepower to just generally plonk onto battleships. So we'll see if that makes a sufficient difference. The Bagration, I cannot really remember what that thing was all about, but it's get better. Okay, sure. 4 rapid reloads and 3 precise aiming. So you basically, if you had a captain with the relevant skill that gave you 1 more of each, now you no longer need that, and you can take the HP instead. The Congress, the Congress is a bit crap. Gets a little bit more range, a little bit more dispersion. I don't think that's going to fix the Congress, but it's worth trying. The Strasbourg, the Strasbourg was crap as well. 11%. What is it with the dispersion buffs all over here? These are pretty hefty as well. We're normally getting like 4% or something. Sure, 11% dispersion. I mean, the Strasbourg is a tier 7 Dunkirk, and the Dunkirk is not particularly powerful at tier 6 as she stands. So, 11%. I can't really remember what the ship could do. I think she gets a precise aim, same as the Dunkirk, but I can't remember. Might be worth trying that thing again. The Surrey. Okay, so here we come with the regular line. So remember the British heavy cruisers, which were really, really not great, have gotten these super heals in tier 9 and 10 now. So let's see what else happens. So tier 7 gets a free dispersion module. Tier 8 gets a free dispersion module. And tier 9 gets 4% dispersion, half a second off, and the emergency repair. Okay. The Goliath gets the same thing. So basically, tier 9 and 10 now have super heals. They get slightly better dispersion, but it's only half a dispersion module. But they do get half a second shaved off from their reload time. So I'm gonna have a lot of things to test again that I'm not particularly enjoying, but okay, I'll do it. Atlantico, yeah, we talked about this one. So the Atlantico should now be a more reasonable ship than she was before, and honestly, nobody should be complaining about that. And that's it, I think. Yeah, that's it for the update. So, exciting update. Lots of pretty hefty balancing changes. Japanese light cruisers, new ship sounds. Honestly, nice update, I would have to say. Just from looking at that paper, nice update. I think lots of good things coming with the personal challenges generally being super well accepted. And I think that is exciting. I am keen to retest all these things. Do let me know what you're most excited for me to test. Everybody go on and say Marceau, please. Because everything else I don't really want. But no, jokes aside. I'm going to test the Goliath and see if and the Drake and all the others if necessary, and see if they're now viable or if they are still just kind of on the meh side. That's that. So, okay, enough for today. I need to get back to things, and just wanted to throw that out for you. Have a good week, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.